Hello and welcome to your free workout of the week. Now these workout of the weeks are presented to you in a more off the cuff way, so if I make mistakes we carry on. I do it in one take unless there's a terrible mistake in which I go back and re-record, but we do it in one take. It's a bit more off the cuff. I crack a few jokes, they're not always funny, but we go ahead with it. You can see some kit around me, some dumbbells, bench, mat, suspension trainer. Don't worry about those, they're set up for the paid version which requires some equipment because you get a lot more variety with it. For example, Bodyweight, as you're going to see today when we do these workouts, and I'll explain as we go. Bodyweight workouts, you're quite limited with your upper body. There's some really good pushing movements you can do, but it's very difficult to do pulling movements. A pair of dumbbells make a big difference to that. Suspension training makes a big difference to that. Anyway, today we're going to do two 5 exercise circuits, all body weight, and then we're going to finish off with some core exercises. I've got a spaghetti bolognese on the hob, so I'm keen to get started. We can work through these circuits and we'll hopefully finish in 45 minutes. Right, so you should have warmed up. If you haven't done so already, go and do one of the warm-up videos. I've warmed up, so I'm happy to get started as well. We're going to do two 5 exercise circuits. The first 5 exercise circuit will get started shortly. We're going to go for 45 seconds on, so we're going to work for 45 seconds, then we're going to rest for 15 seconds and transition into the next exercise. First exercise is going to be a plank up, which is kind of a combination of a push-up and a plank. Let's get started with that. Are you ready? I'll show as we go. I like to just get moving. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, a plank push-up. We get into a plank position like so, and then we push ourselves up, and then we go back down again, continually like this. You can, if you like, do a couple on one side, then a couple on the other side. If you find that too hard, do it from the knees, just like a modified push-up. You can also do it in a box push-up position. You should incidentally be doing these by now. Okay, so let's get started, let's get moving. We're already 30 seconds into the first exercise. Oh, and I'm showing you my belly already. So, plank up, plank down, push yourself up, let yourself go back down. We've got another 5 seconds on these. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're now going to go into a leg exercise. We're going to go for a lunge first off. So, you've got another 10 seconds or so to transition. I'm going to start showing you straight away. This is a lunge. Okay, it's a forward lunge. You can now try doing this lunge. Let's get started. I'm going to explain as we go. The first round of exercises, you might take a while to get used to them, but that's because I like to coach as we go. Otherwise we're all standing around for too long. Lunge, imagine there are 2 tram lines on the ground. Your right ankle, knee, hip, shoulder remain over one tram line, and likewise on the left side. We don't want your knee coming in, we don't want your knee going out, we don't want your pelvis tilting either. Keep a stable pelvis, keep a stable torso, and keep your legs nicely aligned with those tram lines. Another 5 seconds on these. I want to make it easier, don't sink as low. Okay, that's a view from the side. Okay, and relax. So that was the lunges. Let's now have a 15-second pause while we get into the next exercise. This one might be useful to have your mat for a bit of comfort. Another 3 seconds, we're going to go for a burpee. 3, 2, 1, okay, let's burpee. This, for me, is a burpee. Sorry, I've got to tuck shirt in again. This is a common theme in these workouts of the week, which is my shirt coming up and me revealing my belly button to everyone. So this is a burpee. You don't have to do a jump at the top, you don't have to go chest to the floor in my book. So that's a perfectly good burpee. You should be doing your burpees right now, you're halfway through. Now, if burpees are too hard for you, you can modify them by coming up onto something. I'm sure you've got a dining chair you could use. You can make it easier still by stepping out and stepping in, not jumping out and jumping in. Likewise, with the full version, you can do this. And relax, that's your burpees done. Good. So, lots of variations. Again, I like to coach as we go. So if you're thinking, God, this is a little bit overwhelming, don't worry, by the end of the first round you can be far more familiar with it. Next exercise, we're into a plank. Again, this time, we're going to do, I call it a plank hip dip, which is where your hips go up and they go down. Nice and smooth and controlled, like so. Now, what happens when we do bodyweight workouts is there's lots of leg exercises we can do, although they're difficult to load because you haven't got any weight to load them up and make them harder. So to make them harder, you kind of have to go single leg. There's lots and lots and lots of core things you can do. Lots of core exercises that require no equipment. Upper body is a bit trickier. You've got a push-up, which is a fantastic exercise. Relax, perfect. And you can do variations of a push-up, like a plank up that we're doing today in this circuit. Relax, okay, we're going to transition into your next exercise in a second. And that's going to be an aerobic exercise. 3, 2, 1. Right, we're going to go running on the spot with high knees. Now, if running on the spot disagrees with you, march on the spot. If you march at a good pace, pumping your arms, driving your knees up and down, that's quite hard work. Likewise, if you want to make the high knees on the spot harder, pick the pace up, okay? I'm doing an intermediate version here. So body weight exercises, like running on the spot, those sort of aerobic exercises, are also quite easy to do without equipment. You don't need dumbbells, medicine ball, anything like that, just to jog on the spot. Another 10 seconds, and then you can do lots of things like burpees. Those sort of old-fashioned bodyweight exercises. 2, 1, and relax. Those are the 5 exercises. If you remember back, we're onto a plank up. So, got another 10 seconds to transition. Instantly, if you want to make this whole circuit easier, 3, 2, 1, let's plank up. If you want to make this whole circuit easier, take an extra 5 seconds in your recovery. That's 5 seconds more recovery, 5 seconds less work, and it makes a big difference over the course of the circuit. So that's another good way of making it a little bit easier. Likewise, if you're finding it all a tad easy, want to make it harder, don't dawdle through the recovery. Get straight into your next exercise. Now with this plank up, just make sure you're changing your lead arm, so you're getting a bit of balance there. And remember, easier version on the knees, or you can do a box version. 5 seconds more. Remember, if you want to make it easier, finish a little bit early or start a little bit late. And relax, good, excellent. We're now back onto the leg exercise, that was the lunge. If you want to get started, you can get started on the lunge. If you want to wait a little bit longer, wait a little bit longer. But for most of us, we should be looking to start now. Back onto that forward lunge. Remembering to keep pelvis stable and ankle, knee, hip over one tram line, shoulder as well. And likewise on the other side. Notice my depth. If you want to do a full lunge, get your back knee almost touching the ground. If you want to make it a bit easier, don't go as low. You can also slow it down. That's another way of making it harder. Think about your leg muscles. We want to be using our quads and glutes. Push ourselves back up, and majority of the weight is going through that front leg. We don't want to drag ourselves back to the back leg. So focus on that front leg and push back. And relax, good. Those are the lunges. We're now on to burpees. That's just me trying to remember the structure of the workout. So we're going through this 3 times. We're on the second round at the moment. 3, 2, 1, let's get back onto burpees. Right, let's show you the variations. I'll show you the full version. This is your full burpee. Okay, that I'm happy with. You don't have to go chest to floor because that's just adding another push-up in, and you don't need to do a jump at the top. Step down to make it slightly easier is this one. And remember, making it easier is not the same as making it easy. If that version is very hard for you, it's not easy, it's just easier. Now, you've also got this version up here. Okay, you can do that on a coffee table, on a dining table, whatever you have available at that sort of height. Okay, another 5 seconds, I'm going to get back onto these burpees. And relax, that'll do. You've got another 15-second transition. Then we're back onto that plank. Hip dip. Right, hips going up and down. So sort of slightly dynamic variation of a conventional plank. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go for it. So yes, this session, these 2 5 exercise circuits, and then the core circuit, are biased towards old school bodyweight exercises, and lots of core, because that's the stuff that you can do bodyweight. Okay, you're over halfway. And you can do some great bodyweight exercises. I've done a lot of bodyweight stuff before in the past. The problem is you're a bit limited with the upper body, you're limited with loading the lower body. 5 seconds more. And there's a lot less variety. For some of you that's not a problem. And relax, perfect. If you're not fussed about having a huge amount of variety, that's not a problem. But for others who like that variety, it can be a bit of an issue. Okay, so we're now to the last exercise of the second round. If you remember, that's the high knees on the spot. Good, let's go through it. Now, I mentioned that last time we did this exercise, many of you will legitimately not like running on the spot, okay? Particularly if you've had kids, for example. So you can march it, take the bounce out, take the impact out. It'll feel a lot more comfortable. But those of you who are happy to do so, you can high knee on the spot, you can run it. Like so. Easy to make harder, you just pick the pace up. We've got another 10 seconds. 5. And relax, good. Excellent, we'll go back to the start. Back to those plank ups, that's the upper body exercise. And we'll go through one more round. You should know all the variations now. I said at the start, it might take a round or two to become familiar with the exercises. Let's go for it. But that's fine. I'm sure you're still working hard. It's better than me explaining it all to you in one go and us standing around for 10 minutes not doing anything at the start. And that's something I've done since 2011 because I've done lots of boot camps. There's nothing worse than having all of your boot campers standing around not doing anything. We always like to start moving, get moving. We can work it out as we go. Good. Remember to alternate your lead arm. Make sure we get balance. 5 seconds more. Doesn't have to be exact. And relax, perfect. I know I've done almost the same number on the left and the right, but I wasn't counting. Good. So, catch your breath, and it's going to be the final time on the lunges. Now, I can give you a slightly harder version again on this one. So if anyone out there is thinking that even a conventional lunge like this is too easy, many of you, if you had the kit, you could hold a dumbbell, hold 2 dumbbells. But we're doing this as a bodyweight workout. So if this is still too easy, try a switch jump. I guarantee that'll get all of you. Okay, you're going to have to be exceptionally fit for that exercise, not to push you to an appropriate level. 10 seconds more. Remember to keep focusing on the quads and glutes, front leg, push back. Notice how I don't lurch forward either. Step forward, drop, push back. We don't, and relax, we don't go over that front leg too much. That's not very nice on the knees. That is nice on the knees. Okay, good, that was your recovery. We're now on to the burpees, please. So you can get straight into them now. That's our burpee. If you want to make this one harder, do them faster, but please don't add the push-up at the bottom, because then you're just doing far too many push-ups. Like I've said before, that's one of the big limitations of bodyweight training. It's the upper body stuff. Very hard to perform pulling movements without a suspension trainer, a pull-up bar, or dumbbells. And it's important, and relax, good, to perform pulling movements because it balances out the push-up movement, pushing movements. Pushing movements are largely chest, shoulder, triceps. Pulling movements are largely biceps and back. And if we don't get balance, then, well, it doesn't always happen, but this is your university student who does a lot of bench press and nothing else. Everything tightens up and nothing gets pulled back. And relax, good. We should be on to the next exercise. I'm talking too much. Burpees onto plank hip dip. Okay, here we go. That's it. These have been charmingly referred to as air humps in the past. I know what it looks like, but it is still a great exercise. Okay? Smooth and controlled. Bum up, bum down. Another 10 seconds. Unfortunately, a lot of good fitness training involves these sort of movements and involves me talking about activating your glutes. You can snigger at the back of the class if you like, but that's just the way it is. Okay, good. We've got one more exercise to go, haven't we? And that's the running on the spot. So another 3 seconds. Okay, let's go for it. We'll finish off this circuit with the high knees. Then we'll have a short drinking break. And then we'll get on to the second 5 exercise circuit. Then we'll get on to your core circuit. Like I said at the start, should take 45 minutes. And then with the warm-up video and the stretching video, that should be an hour all in. I'm not a fan of these 15-minute HIIT workouts. That's nonsense. If you're doing HIIT, you need to warm up for 15 minutes before you do it. So there's no way you're going in cold and doing 15 minutes of proper HIIT. 5 seconds. And relax, take it easy. First circuit completed, well done, grab yourself a drink. I haven't got a problem with doing a 15-20 minute core circuit that's nice and light, but if you're doing 15 minute workout hard, you're spending more time getting prepared for the workout and getting showered and changed after the workout than you are actually working out. Doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to work out for 45 minutes to an hour and take the next day off, you know, have a day's rest before you train again. Good job. So, next set of exercises as best possible, just using body weight. We're going to try and balance out what we've already done. As I said, pushing movement's easy, pulling movement's much harder. One of the few exercises that I've worked out is a suitable option for body weight pulling movements, is lying on your front, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Okay, so it's like a reverse fly lying down. We can also do YTW drills, but I won't go for them, they're a bit more complicated. So if you're ready, let's get you lying on your front and we'll show you this exercise that is kind of the best pulling exercise I can think of using body weight. Okay, that's been about a minute recovery, so I think we're good to go. So lying on your front, please. Hands up to the side. Squeeze your bum, lift your shoulders slightly by using your back muscles, and just pulse from there. With all upper body exercises, we want to keep our shoulders down and broad relative to our torso. So armpits pulled down towards your hips and shoulders apart. We don't want to be high and narrow. We don't want to be hunched. So keep your shoulder blades down and back and squeeze your shoulder blades together as you perform this pulsing movement. And you should feel it in the upper middle back. Another 10 seconds. Good postural exercise, some would say. 2, 1, and relax. Good. Excellent. Now, with leg stuff, we've done a unilateral leg exercise, which means it's kind of asymmetric. One leg is forward, one leg is back in that case. We're now going to do a bilateral exercise where both legs are symmetrical. They're both contributing. So we're going to do a squat. Okay, so that's a nice way of balancing your leg stuff. Anterior dominant, posterior dominant is one thing we try and get in, but it's also good to get in some unilateral and some bilateral leg stuff. Okay, a squat, you're in a naturally stable position, so you can focus on driving up with the big muscles. Lunge, you have to stabilise a bit more, which is useful. Squats, let's keep our knees roughly over our feet. We don't want them too far in, we don't want them too far out. They can go over your toes slightly, but we don't want them really far over the toes. So this is a good squat. If you want to make it harder, put in a jump. If you want to make it easier, don't go as low, don't do as many, have a little pause at the top. And relax, that's the second exercise done. As with the first circuit, it might take one round to get used to the exercises, but just keep working through it. You're still doing some work, still doing some exercise, still burning calories and getting stronger. Next exercise, what was that? Side plank hip dips. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So into a side plank, like this, and we're going hips up, hips down, like this. Want to make it easier? Go from the knees again. Okay? And we'll let you know when it's halfway, which is about now. So you want to spin over like this. I'm obviously not going to do that because that's a little bit rude for me to turn my back on you. So I'm going to quickly switch around. Another 10 seconds. Gentle dipping and raising of the hips. And it's a great core exercise this. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nicely done. We're now going to do what I call a reverse burpee. I'm claiming this as one of my own. I'm claiming this as my contribution to human civilization. It's a reverse burpee, and all it is that you lie down so that the whole back's touching the ground. Oops, knocked my drink over. And then you get back up again. Now I've got good hip mobility, so I can do it like that. For many of you, it's going to be over to one side, lift yourself up, like so, come down to the side, roll back, go down. Take as long as you need to do it. The only rules are you're standing and then you're lying on your back, okay? You just got to get up and down. Nothing more functional than that. Can you get yourself off the floor? Very, very, very functional. Okay, so that's the exercise. Take as long as you like. Don't put your knees in unpleasant positions. So if you need to, slow it down, get control, and push up like that. And relax, because that's a reverse burpee. If it's truly awful, if you're carrying some sort of injury that makes that line impossible, just skip it. Just skip that exercise. Okay, have an extra bit of rest. Work hard on the other 4. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 5th exercise. Heel flicks on the spot. Before, we were up here. Now, we're going to focus a little bit more on bringing the heels to the bum, keeping the knees down. Again, if jumping up and down really disagrees with you, there are lots of legitimate reasons why that would be the case. Just do like a heel flick march. We're using a lot of hamstrings. You might be surprised by that tomorrow. You might be surprised at how sore you are behind the knees and up the back of the leg. Another 15 seconds. 10 seconds more. 5, 3, 2, 1. Great, that's the first round completed. Second round's going to be easier. You know what's coming. So let's get you lying on your front. Into those flies. Okay, here we go. I'm hoping I'm still in camera shot here. I think I am. If I'm not, my apologies. You should be able to see enough of it. Remember, shoulders low and broad, and pull your shoulder blades back together. Surprisingly difficult. About halfway. So we're going to do 3 more rounds. Well, we're going to do 3 rounds total, 2 more rounds, just like we did with the first circuit. 15 seconds. And just like the first circuit, you can add an extra 5 seconds onto your recovery if you need it, or you can just get straight into the exercises. 2, 1, and relax. Modifying is only cheating if you're making it easier than it should be. Okay, so long as you're working to a good level of difficulty, good intensity, I'm happy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with making things easier. What we don't want to do is make them easy. Okay, where were we? There. We're into the side plank hip dip. Okay, let's go for that. That's this one. Now, just because I'm demonstrating, I'm going to do this side the whole time this time, and then on the 3rd round I'm going to face you the other way. But I would recommend that you switch halfway on this. I'll let you know. Well, it's about halfway now, so you can switch now if you like. Roll over onto the other side. Remember, you can do it from the knees. I might be regretting this choice incidentally, because I'm starting to find this quite difficult. Another 15 seconds. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was quite difficult. And relax. Good. Okay. Well done. Does that put me? Yeah, that puts me onto the reverse burpee. Patented. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Reverse burpee. Now, some of you will be thinking this is an absolutely horrible exercise. Like I say, if you really, really struggle to get up from this position, if you have a hip problem, knee problem, etc., don't do it. But for most of you, you should be able to slowly, controlled, get yourself in a good position and push up, and then lower yourself sensibly, and then rock down and go again. Others of you might be able to just pop yourselves up and bang through the reverse burpees. Choose an option that's right for you. Do not do something that will injure you. Okay, be sensible. And like I say, I think it's a fantastic exercise because how functional, how practical is it just being able to get off the floor. Good, excellent, well done. Next exercise was, we missed out the leg exercise I think, didn't we? We did. We're going to do squats now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Squats, as I said at the start, we do this in one take. If I make a slight mistake, we just carry on. It doesn't make any difference. We've just done the squat in a slightly different order. It makes no difference whatsoever. So just remember, keep your knees roughly over your feet, not too far in, not too far out, not too far forward. Also not too far back. We don't want to make our squats like a deadlift. Okay, that's not squatty enough for me. Let's make our squat squatty. Okay, good. You can go quicker if you want to make it harder. You can go slower to make it easier. Remember, you've also got the option of doing the jump. 10 seconds more. Quads, glutes. Get those muscles working. Particularly if you've had knee problems, focus mentally on firing up your quads. They'll have a tendency to go to sleep. And relax, good. Last exercise then is a heel flicks, and we'll do one more round. 10 seconds recovery. Yeah, if you've had any knee injuries in the past, any serious knee injuries, there is a tendency for the quads to switch off, and the quads are what you want to strengthen to stabilise the knee. Heel flick. So when you're doing any leg exercise, you've got to really make that connection between the mind and the muscle. Get that muscle working, get it contributing, and you'll develop that strength. That'll help your knee, or your knees. So we're doing the heel flicks on the spot, remember. You can march it. It's not an easy option, it's an easier option. So in terms of intensity, difficulty, you want to do this so it's hard but not horrendous. You don't need to train till you vomit, okay? We don't need to go there. This isn't a CrossFit class. You don't get high fives when you vomit in the bucket. 5 seconds more. And relax, perfect, good. Back to start. And that's back to lying on the front. Doing the reverse flight. So it needs to be hard, but not horrendous. Always err on the side of easy to start off with, and go for it. If you haven't worked out for a while, you're going to be sore even if you feel like you're going at 60%. You're going to be sore for 2 days. So err on the side of easy, and then after a couple of weeks, it all becomes a bit more familiar. It's still hard, but it's kind of a little bit less unpleasant. Your body's kind of used to it. You've brushed away the cobwebs. Good, good. Another 15 seconds. But yes, we do want to work hard, but no, you don't have to work to the point where you need 3 days off mentally and physically before you do it again. 3, 2, 1, and relax. One of my favourite phrases. It's one that I've come up with myself, I think, as far as I'm aware. Now we're going to do the squats. We're going to do it in the correct order this time. 3, 2, 1. Let's go squatting. Or I may have just done it in a different order each round. I can't quite remember. Doesn't matter. The circuits, the exercises in the circuits are all separate enough that it doesn't really matter what order we do them in. I can't remember what I was saying. Another 30 seconds. Yes, one of my favourite phrases. Consistently good training always trumps inconsistent excellent training. So don't be that person who trains like an Olympian and then has 3 weeks off. And then trains like an Olympian and has 3 weeks off. Train to a good standard, but do it week in, week out. That's how you get results, even at a high level. 10 seconds more. 5. And relax, take it easy. Good. We're now going to go on to the reverse burpee. Or shall we? I'm just mixing it up completely now, so let's go for the side plank hip dip next. And 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Oh, I'm going to do it the other way. You should be going by now. I've just remembered I need to develop balance. Otherwise I'll have posture like a banana. Good, good, good. It's about halfway. This is the point at which you should be switching over, and I'd really quite like to switch over, but I've stupidly committed to doing the full 45 seconds on one side. Another 15 seconds. Oh. 10. Remember, you can do these from the knees. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. And relax. Now we're going to get onto the reverse burpees. Okay. Almost at the end of the second circuit. And before you know it, we'll have done half an hour of work, half an hour of training. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. Okay. So I'm going to show you first of all the quick version if you've got good hip ability and you can pretty much squat to the ground. And then you have your other versions. I don't think I've said this yet, but another thing to think about is balancing out which side you push up on. So if you are doing a version where you're leaning over to one side to get into a position that's a bit more comfortable, just make sure you do it the other way as well. You will have a dominant side, so it's good to work on the other side, again, for balance. So it might look something like this. Smooth and controlled. Don't do anything jerky, that's where you might hurt yourself a wee bit. Be careful with twisting your knees, twisting your ankles, etc. Okay, good, that's the reverse burpee done. Last exercise then is the heel flex on the spot. 3, 2, 1, and heel flex. And remember, with that reverse burpee, you need to use your common sense. If it's just not right for you, skip it. You can even do this for 2 minutes. Skip it rather than risk tweaking a knee or something like that. As you get stronger and fitter, you can try it again, maybe in 8 weeks' time, and you might find that you can do it because you've developed a bit more strength and you've improved your mobility around your hips and things. Another 15 seconds, then we'll have another drinks break. 5, 3, 2, 1. Now relax, good, that's that circuit completed. Okay. Now on the subject of balance, we're going to try and get a nice balanced core workout next. We've done lots of nice holds. So when it comes to the core, I like to focus on a combination of holds, planks, supermans, things like that, holding, on your front, on your side plank, front plank. Because your core throughout the day does a lot of resisting movement. It has to engage at a low level to stabilise and resist movement. But it also does perform movement. You do have to rotate, flex, extend. So we'll do a little bit of a circuit here that involves a hold, some flexion, some extension and some rotation. So we're just developing a balanced core there. So you've got another 15 seconds or so, that'll have given you about a minute recovery, and then we'll get on to it. One of my pet hates with online training, and when Hollywood stars used to release their DVDs, I don't think that happens anymore, or popular celebrity online trainers, their core workouts don't have that balance, and they have all sorts of stupid exercises that are essentially just a crunch, but with something going on. This is a crunch. You just flex and release, flex your spine and release. That's a crunch. If you're doing this with your hand and your leg, it's still a crunch. If you're doing this with your arm, it's still a crunch. If you're doing this with your hands, it's still a crunch. Okay, so doing something strange with your arms and your legs doesn't change the exercise, it's still a crunch. So if you're doing basically 4 sets of crunches with different hand gestures, it's not a balanced core workout, and I see that a lot with online trainers. So if you're ready to roll, let's start with a crunch. It's going to be a 4 exercise circuit this time. That should take us to roughly 45 minutes. Okay, so this is a crunch. I might be wrong actually. I'm going to change it to a 3 exercise circuit. I've just looked at my watch and I want to keep it to roughly 45 minutes. This is a crunch. You gently engage your tummy muscles here, you lift yourself up, you flex, you curve your spine, and then you release it. You come up, you release it. You can put your hands behind your head to support your neck, but support it, don't do all the work. Let your neck do some of the work. It will strengthen like any other part of your body. So squeezing, releasing, releasing. Smooth and controlled. Keep breathing, keep relaxed. Excellent. So this is your crunch. We're going to take out the hold because we've already done lots of holds in this session. And relax, good. So we're going to keep it the same timings, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So we're now going to go from there to a rotational core movement. So sitting up nice and tall, you might end up slouching just a tad, but try and keep your posture. And we're just going to rotate to the side. You can do this with pieces of equipment incidentally. You can do this, often people do this with a medicine ball. Keep your posture, long spine, and rotate in a controlled way. If you want to make it harder, lean back further. You can even take your feet off the floor. You can go here. To make it easier, you can just be a bit more upright. You can even do this one seated on a dining chair. Again, just because you're making something easier doesn't mean you're making it easy for yourself. You're all at different levels of fitness. Do what's appropriate for you. Another 5 seconds. And relax, good. So we've done flexion, rotation. Let's now work an extension. We've already done a bit of extension with those lying on your front doing your flies. But now we're just going to go for a dorsal raise. Hands behind your back like this. Just lift yourself up. Squeeze your bum and use your spinal erector muscles just to curl up. And then back down again. Keep relaxed, keep breathing, smooth and controlled. I know it does feel a little bit like you've just been abducted. I know it's not the nicest position to lie in, but it is a great exercise for strengthening the back. A lot of people with lower back pain wrongly avoid exercising their lower back. I mean, that's a mass generalisation. Some people have got serious lower back problems that need proper physio input, but as a general rule, I think, from what I've seen in the past, a lot of sort of low-level lower back pain can be solved by strengthening the back, not nursing it too much. And relax, perfect. Good, those are the 3 exercises. We'll go back to a crunch. I, for example, get lower back soreness, and if I'm doing heavy deadlifting, it almost resolves straight away because it strengthens the lower back. Oh, so I'm doing a sit-up, sorry, crunches. Again, you can support your head if you like. Smooth up, smooth down. Engaging all your tummy muscles. Another 15 seconds. We'll do 3 rounds here to finish off this workout. And then you will have time at the end to follow a stretching video. It's a nice way to finish off. It's important to maintain flexibility, mobility. And relax, good, take it easy. We're now going to come up onto our bums and we're going to do the rotation. Another 5 seconds. Okay, let's go. Come on, go at an angle. Posture, so try and avoid as best you can slouching, so try and keep yourself upright. And it's a smooth, controlled rotation. If you want to think a bit more advanced, you can think about having each one of your vertebrae contributing to that rotation. Okay, so not have it all coming from the same spot. Try and have every single vertebra in your spine contributing to that rotation. It's the same with the flexion and the extension. When we're doing our dorsal raise in a moment, we can think again of just getting all of the vertebrae contributing. 10 seconds more. That's something Pilates instructors are quite keen on. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lying on your front, so you can take your recovery if you like. Got probably another 5 seconds. Doing core at the end of a workout is a great way of lowering the intensity gradually. Okay, that's it, we're into our dorsal raises now. Because it's less aerobic, your heart rate's not as high, you're still working hard, but it's a bit of a notch down from what we were doing in those other circuits. And so it's just bringing everything down slowly, and then if you do the stretch afterwards, that brings it down even further. So clench your butt and then use your back muscles to lift yourself up. Clench your bum, lift up. If you want to, think about having all those vertebrae contributing individually to the extension. to some degree. 5 seconds more. I appreciate, and relax, I appreciate that's not the most comfortable exercise. Lying on your front, it's not glamorous. But it's good. Okay, 5 more seconds. 1 more round of each exercise, 3 minutes to go. And then you can get on with your stretching if you want. Okay, crunches. Smooth up, smooth down. Now there are times when you probably should be getting some more specialist input for core exercises, and probably exercises in general for that matter. And that's mostly associated with ladies who have recently given birth. And if there's anything a bit more complex, so for example ab separation, you might want to see a specialist, sort of pelvic floor specialist, specialist physiotherapist, specialist Pilates instructors, and relax perfect to help you work around that change to how your stomach is now working, how your core is now working. Another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Seated rotations, please. There you go. Good, good, good. But for most people, you should be able to comfortably do these core exercises without any risk. But yes, please don't jump into your sort of Hollywood celebrity, get a flat stomach DVD if you've only 2 days ago given birth and it's been quite. It wasn't the easiest. It wasn't the easiest birth. That's not a great idea. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. One more exercise to go then. That's the one where we lie on our front and we do the dorsal raise. I will give you your full recovery. So we have another 5 seconds and then we'll finish off. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Lifting yourself up, slowly back down. Continue to breathe, keep it nice and relaxed. You've got another 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Take it easy. Well done. So, that's this part of the session completed. As I've said already, now's your opportunity to stop this video and go and do a stretching video. But well done.